I want to get to this story involving United Airlines because we just grazed it yesterday. And because we were out of time, Stugots actually said if they told me to get off of an overbooked flight, I would just get off, which is right. I mean, the shipping container right now is roaring with laughter at the idea of Stugots being the first volunteer of I'll do it. So we'll get to this story in a second. If you're not familiar with this United Airlines story, a doctor, it's growing. It's become a mess for United Airlines. United Airlines statement was dehumanizing. I don't know how much race is playing a factor in the idea that a guy who wasn't white was being dragged physically and bloody off of the airplane for refusing to get off of an overbooked plane after the computer had just chosen for others. I think the solution there is because Stugotz was arguing that 4 people just need to get off the plane. What do you want United to do yesterday?
Yeah.
I think the solution there is United has to give, because it's their fault the flight is overbooked. Mm-hmm. It's their error, and they have inconvenienced their customer. The solution there has to be you keep giving vouchers until you get 4 people to choose to come off of the plane for whatever the amount is. Not an $800 limit. You keep going as high as you need to go to get the 4 people off of the plane.
I think there's a rule to how much they can offer a passenger in vouchers. I believe there's a limit to what they can offer, and it's like $1,350. And to some passengers, that might not be enough.
Okay, I'm sure that there's a rule. I don't care that there's a rule. Mm-hmm. Go higher. And there are some things businesses must do that cost them money so that they don't have this on their hands. Because I assure you today, United wishes they could give any amount of money to avoid what it is that's engulfing them today.
Oh, I have no doubt. The other solution, obviously, is don't overbook the flight. Like JetBlue does not do that. Like if people don't show up, they'll just take the loss or you're on standby.
That's the other thing. It's their greed that led to this situation, or the need for full flights and their business model and how that stuff ends up working.
Well, whoever's in charge of the airlines, FAA, whoever it is, needs to completely abolish the whole system of overbooking. It's really outrageous. I mean, to me, it's like, all right, you have a 50,000-seat football stadium, and you're routinely selling 57,000 tickets, hoping that there are a lot of no-shows. Well, if there aren't a lot of no-shows, you're going to start herding people out of your stadium, even though they bought a ticket. In microcosm, that's what airlines do. It's crazy.
Hold on. What does Stugotz do in this situation, though? Because yesterday he was arguing that he would get off the plane, and it just seems ridiculous.
Well, I mean, at some point, I probably lie is what I do. In fact, Greg and I were talking about this before the show. I come up with some sort of family emergency, got to get there. Can we ask some more passengers, explain to them my situation? Mom isn't feeling good, got to get there.
Explain to everyone my lie, be in cahoots on my lie.
Yes, I'm happy to stand in front of the entire plane, and I'll get on that little microphone thing that they have, and I will explain it to everyone.
My mom is on her deathbed. Yes. Like, you don't have any guilt about that particular thing, killing your grandma several times. You don't have any guilt. Like a lot of people, Guillermo, put this on the poll. Will you invent a horrible family illness to get out of something? Or not, because a lot of people won't do that because they don't want to wish that into existence. They don't want to actually play with that particular fire superstitiously.
Right. But that's what I would do. And yes, to answer your question, Grandma, I'm sorry. She's up in heaven somewhere. I've killed her multiple times, different stages of my life. You just got to be careful not to tell the same person that same lie.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Let's do this. This show flies by the seat of its pants. We didn't know that we were going to start here. We thought there was probably something in sports to grab onto, but no. Let's go ahead and do Stugots at the intercom. Let's go ahead and role play this. This is United flight straight to hell.
Right.
And Stugots is, the computer has selected him as 4 people to get off of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go now to the
cabin, attention. Do we have sound for this? Thank you. Listen.
Well done, Mike. That was very fast.
They have asked for volunteers to get off this plane because they have overbooked this plane and no one volunteered. So they went to the computers, and I was one of the people selected to get off this plane. Unfortunately, I have bad news for everyone on this plane. My grandmother is on her last breath. She is on her deathbed, and I need to be there tomorrow. She means so much to me. She, along with my mom, because there was an unfortunate situation in my family where my dad left us at a very early age. So she helped raise me, and I need to have one final conversation with her. So if anyone, out of the kindness of their hearts, would volunteer to take whatever vouchers United is offering and just wait one more night, you'll be here one more night, and then you get on tomorrow's plane, it would mean the world to me. And by the way, I'll throw in some extras as well.
Nice.
You know, I'll throw in a hat, maybe $100, and maybe a Dan Lebatard Show T-shirt.
A hat?
Yes.
Oh, man, you went cheap.
Some swag.
You went cheap on the stuff that you're giving away.
Yes. But if I don't have this final conversation with Grandma, I would have a Lebatard Show hat, and I would offer it to him. I need to have this final conversation with Grandma. I've been so busy at work, I haven't been able to see her or talk to her because she's been in the hospital, and this would mean the world to me. I won't be able to live one day for the remainder of my life without knowing that I wasn't there for Grandma on her final day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very nice. And the whole plane would start applauding at that.
But would anybody get off?
But they would still applaud and be thinking, I'm
someone
so
would,
sorry.
right? No, I would tug at the heartstrings, right? Someone would get off of that. Like someone like Dan would get off of that, I think.
Would you? Maybe. No, I have gotten off of flights because it's not that important. Yeah,
plus, some of the offers are pretty good. Some of what they offer you.
Well, it's never the offer that makes me get off of the plane. It's never $400 or.
It's your kind heart.
Yeah.
That's right. It's my heart made out of kindness that will get me out of the plane. So this is a huge mess for United.
It is. I'm just saying, if there's 3 cops standing around me, and according to the guy who took the video on the plane, Dan, he said those cops asked nicely, like 12 times, like, sir, come on, man. We don't want to have to do anything drastic. Just get off the plane. You were selected by the computers. I'd like to think that eventually, I put up a fight, but eventually I'd stand up and get off the plane.
I'm not sure you would, though, Stugotz.
I don't want to be dragged out like that. I know they'll do it.
I could see, and am now rooting for the situation. I could totally see. Couldn't you see Stugotz dragged off by his arms? Because if you have not seen this video, I mean, it is a total absence of dignity as women shriek, and there's a streak of blood on the guy's face and on the floor.
Did you see the other video where he's just holding on to the curtain, bleeding from the mouth, just saying, just kill me, just kill me?
He got back on the plane, right? How'd he get back on the plane once they took him off?
And now, I don't know if you watched, like TMZ got a hold of him. Like once anything like this happens, like they'll start digging into your past. And here's the headline on TMZ: United Airlines doctor convicted of exchanging drugs for sex.
Yes!
Boy!
Oh, wow.
Yes!
Wow!
Woo!
How about that?
Wow.
Well, because they threw out doctor to manipulate which side of the story you would fall on, and now comes the leaking on the other side. He's not as clean as you think he is. He's exchanged drugs for sex.
How great is that?
Keep digging around in his past because this guy hasn't gotten beaten enough.
Actually, getting dragged off the plane puts me at the center of the story,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
you
that
might
dragged
want
me
that.
off.
Yeah, well, and the lawsuit.
Oh,
And he's going to get a
yeah.
lot more than an $800 voucher now.
Oh, wow.
You'd do it for the lawsuit.
Yeah.
You'd take the beating just for the lawsuit.
I mean, seems innocent enough. He was only charged with 98 felony counts.
Oh,
That's
98?
Yeah, but those were charged. He was convicted on only 6, folks.
Oh, well.
All right, he's real pure then. He's innocent.
He was indeed convicted of writing prescriptions and checks to patients in exchange for sex. So that is.
I mean, but who among us hasn't done that?
Seriously.
Come on. It's Miami, baby. That's what we do around here. I've given up sex for drugs.